Good morning and welcome to the 2024 Averett Athletics Hall of Fame. We will begin our presentation in just a few moments, so be sure to take this time to go to your seat. Also, please make sure to silence your cell phones. Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Let's meet today's inductees in starting lineup form. She starred for the women's basketball program from 2013 to 2018, Sam Chandler Vesey. He was an All-American for the football program from 2007 to 2010. Welcome, Jeremy Dixon. A standout on the men's basketball team from 1989 to 1993. Welcome, Chad Ford. The starting goalkeeper for the men's soccer program from 1992 to 1995. Welcome, Chris Ganim. An All-American from the softball program from 2014 to 2017. Welcome, Jessica Long-Carter. A standout for the women's volleyball program from 1990 to 1993. Welcome, Ruth Miller. He was a member of our inaugural baseball program and starred for the Cougars from 1995 to 1998. Welcome, Chris Stanley. And finally, a standout for the women's volleyball program from 1988 to 1991. Welcome, Melanie Stanley. Now please join us as we welcome Averett President Dr. Tiffany Franks.
Some people leave memories and other people leave legacies. And Averett's most elite athletic institution, the Averett Hall of Fame, recognizes the legacies of extraordinary women and men who distinguished themselves as one of the all-time greats to compete at Averett University. Our Athletic Hall of Fame is more than a collection of accolades. It's a showcase of the incredible human spirit, a symbol of determination that drives us all to reach for greatness. Today, we honor the very best Averett student athletes from classes past. To our inductees, you are here today because you left a legacy of athletic achievement, of physical grace, courage, self-discipline, leadership, and success. You exhibited excellence and extraordinary achievement in athletics, and you have made a difference in the lives of your teammates, students, alumni, and all who associate with Averett University. It is special beyond words to welcome each of you back home and for you to be enshrined in the legacy of this great institution for all time. We also welcome each of those who join you today, who are beside you, who cheered you on every step of the way. As a Hall of Fame inductee, you are contributing to our sport heritage, what I like to call the Averett Sports story of all of our many athletes, those of the past, those of the present, and those who will represent us in the future. You're contributing to the legacy of Averett athletics. I hope today you'll take time to step into the Grant Center, and I hope you'll head down that main hallway. I want you to stop, and I want you to look at the Board of Achievement for Averett Athletics. Understand that you helped make this story possible, and the foundation that you helped establish will be built year by year by year by our current and future Averett Cougars. As president, I couldn't be more proud of the extraordinary women and men, past and present like yourselves, who shape the Averett story. Thank you for your loyalty to your alma mater. You are one of the special few who are able to leave a lasting legacy, and Averett is so fortunate to call you our own. So congratulations again to each of our inductees. We honor you today. Your achievements serve as inspiration for our current and our future student athletes, reminding them that their dreams and their aspirations are within reach. I'm now going to ask Joe Franks to offer our invocation. Thank you, Joe.
Join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come together today in a spirit of celebration. Celebration for our alma mater, Averett University, and what it does to help students pursue their dreams. We come to celebrate alumni who distinguish themselves in Averett athletic history through their talent, hard work, and character. We thank you for these special alumni and for the honor that they've brought to themselves, their families, and to Averett through their athletic achievements. Continue to bless them and our beloved Averett. And all God's children said, amen, and go Cougars!
Thank you, Joe. Again, thank you all for being here to honor the legacy and the success of those who have made Averett University's athletic program truly exceptional. Now, someone else who has had a tremendous influence in shaping Averett athletics over the past 33 years is Danny Miller. Now, Danny, or as we affectionately call him, Coach or Miller, has played an integral role in the growth and the success of our athletic program. His dedication, his leadership, and his passion for Averett athletics has left an indelible mark on our community, and we are so fortunate to have him continue guiding us. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our interim athletic director, Coach Danny Miller.
Good morning, everybody. I'm glad everybody could be here. So, welcome to our 21st induction ceremony for the Hall of Fame. I'm Danny Miller, interim athletic director, deputy athletic director, compliance officer, adjunct professor. If you've been here a long time, you kind of do a little bit of everything. Whether you're in person or watching online, we're excited to come together to celebrate and induct 8 deserving former student athletes. This class actually is very special to me because it's actually a good mix of old and new. I can say old because some of them are as old as I am or close to it. Went to school together, so this is a very good group. I either got to see you play, coached you, went to school with some of you, so excited about that. And this group excelled both in the classroom and on the field, and they're exceptional representation of what we want to be at Averett Athletics. Today we build upon a tradition that began 26 years ago when we first group of former student athletes and administrators were inducted into the Hall of Fame. A total of 75 Cougars have been so honored. Since 1998 was the first induction class, some of which are joining us today. If you happen to be a member of the Hall of Fame, please stand so we can recognize you. We're excited to have you here, and we're looking forward to adding 8 more today and making the total 83. Each inductee has made a lasting impression on our university and will be remembered for his or her own special way. As a department, our goal is to launch leaders to the future. Today, our current student athletes can see achievement in their predecessors and know that their experience as a student athlete has prepared them for their life. Our Hall of Famers' accomplishments live on not only through the banners that hang in the Grant Center or in the record books, but they now join the Hall of Fame section on our website, averettcougars.com, and are highlighted on multiple interactive displays around campus. Hall of Famers will their stories and their photos, giving a chance for people to know what they've done and what they preceded. As I announce our Hall of Fame, I will call out your name and I ask you to come up on the stage when I first introduce you. Yes, you have to be up there the whole time I read out all your accolades. You'll just make your way up to the stage as I call you out, and we'll go through the process. So we'll go ahead and get started. Our first inductee is Sam Chandler Vesey. A native of Burnsville, North Carolina, Sam started a program record 106 games for women's basketball, finished her career first in all-time scoring with 1694, was the first was at the first in blocks with 106, second with 228 steals, and fifth with 810 rebounds. She was four-time USA South All-Conference selection and D3 Hoops All-Region team 3 times, Virginia Sports Information Directors All-State 3 times, as well as the State Rookie of the Year. A 3-time Academic All-American, she was the 2017-18 NCAA Division III Women's Basketball Academic All-American of the Year, as the nation's top women's basketball student athlete of the season. Averett's Barbara Cushbar, Female Student Athlete of the Year winner in 2017 and 18, and previously Dr. Frank Campbell Sportsmanship Award recipient as well. She also served as the president of Averett SAC, helping our institution win multiple cans across the conference and pennies for a purpose. After graduating from Averett, she went to medical school at VCOM to follow her dream of becoming a doctor. Since graduating VCOM, she's currently in her 3rd year of residency, working in pediatrics at a hospital in Greenville, South Carolina, where she resides with her husband, Brandon. Please welcome Hall of Famer Sam Chandler, VC.
Sorry, guys. I thought we were all getting awards, and then the speeches would happen after that. I am just so blessed and thankful for this honor. It's truly amazing to be here today, especially with one of my best friends, Jessica. So it's awesome. You know, Averett, I feel like just really helped put me on that trajectory in life. Like Coach Miller was saying, we kind of, you know, from Averett, I immediately went to medical school, and that was pretty awesome. Me and Coach Hickey, or Coach Hootie now, joke that Dr. Caldwell used to recruit me more than she did. And he was one of our biology professors who always was great to me. So that was really awesome. I feel like, you know, Averett gave me best friends, gave me my husband, which is awesome. And then really just like long-lasting friendships and relationships that I still have to this day. So the people you guys meet at Averett are going to be there for the rest of your life, and that's really awesome. As far as basketball goes, growing up, I was a very competitive kid, played a lot of basketball, played a lot of softball, was always the kid that was like, one more shot, got to end on a make, that sort of thing. I feel like basketball really helped like mold me as a person as well. You know, when I think about like being a doctor now, I feel like a lot of those skills that basketball and being at Averett and being on SAC gave me kind of really translated to being a doctor today. And so there's a long list of people I have to thank for that. Dr. Franks, Coach Miller being one of those, Joe Franks, Meg Stevens, our athletic director, Coach Hickey, Dr. Caldwell, my amazing family, Brandon, Mom, my dad, Uncle Jerry, as well as everybody else, you know, that kind of helped mold me on this way. So it's been really great. I also just have to say, you know, the gyms that I grew up playing in right now, they're being used for distribution centers. Western North Carolina was hit pretty hard by a hurricane, and a lot of people lost everything. My family, luckily, everything was fine. And sorry, this Coach Hickey, I'm blaming this on you, because you told me. Before this, she was like, I cried my entire speech. So I'm blaming this on you. But the places back home where I grew up playing are now being used as distribution centers. And so if you guys don't mind, just keep Western North Carolina in your prayers and thoughts.
Our next Hall of Fame inductee is Jeremy Dixon, who was a standout at Averett's football team from 2007-2010. A native of Hawthorne, Florida, Jeremy was the threat both as a return specialist and a receiver. He ranks second in program history with 134 receptions, third with 1,796 yards, third in kick return yards with 1,045, and fifth in all-purpose yards with 3,468, and third in single-season receiving yards with 914. I'm not much of a runner. That makes me tired thinking running that. Second in program history for most receiving yards in a single game with 182. Scored 16 career touchdowns, 10 receiving and 2 each on kick and punt returns. Was a 2009 D3 football All-American second team, return specialist in all region selection, and was a 2020 preseason All-American selection. 2009 Roanoke Times first team All-State return specialist, 3-time USA South All-Conference selection, including at both receiver and returner in 2009. After Averett, Jeremy played football professionally in Europe. He was later selected to the USA South 50th anniversary team for football in 2013. Jeremy currently works for the United States Postal Service as a city carrier in Florida, where he resides with his wife, Jaleesa, and has 4 children. Please welcome Hall of Famer Jeremy Dixon.
Good morning. I first will give the glory to God for everything that I've been recognized for in my career, because I truly believe without Him, it's not, and the athletic ability today is not possible. I would like to next quote a scripture, Genesis 2:24. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh, and she'll be the lead person that I think first. My wife. Her companionship has given me the feeling of a teammate, which is pretty cool to have while being away from the game, football. Working alongside you to get better, take accountability, and simply become the best version of ourselves has been, pretty cool. In a short time, God's blessed us with a lot. Our family, marriage, and home. And guys, if you guys don't believe in, the power, of God, which I'm glad you opened up with prayer, I asked my wife about the last 5 years of our lives, and she could tell you. Thank you for all you've given me and allowing me to lead, always willing to grow and become your best self. I love you. Next, my parents. Without your love, I'm not born. Without your guidance, I'm lost. Mom, thank you for your energy, because it has truly shaped my sisters and myself. This is your reward just as much as it is mine. You footed the bill for me to come back and finish my class. After me letting you down, you walked my family down, and not graduating. For that and many other things, I thank you. Thank you, and forever grateful for your life, sacrifices for our family. I love you. Dad, thank you for never letting up on me, always being there when I needed you, and always doing the best you knew how. Fatherhood doesn't come with any manuals, as I'm starting to find out for myself. But I sure can use a few pages from your manual that you've written in 36 years. Thank you, and I love you. My sisters, from working out together, you guys spotted me with all that weight, from your famous egg and cheese sandwiches you guys used to make me anytime I asked, to give me a place to lay my head in 2017. Life dealt me some tough times due to my selfish ways. I thank you, and I love you dearly. To my son, Aiden, you made me a father. When you were born, I was selfishly chasing my dreams. The day you were born, I was in Germany and I laid my head down, and everything hit me at once, that I now have someone else besides myself to consider. My reality shifted, and you started me back unknowingly on a path back to myself, whom I've gotten so far away from. You will be a better version of myself. You will help change the world. Few pointers: listen more than you talk, and always obey your mother and anyone in your authority and myself. I'm always here for you, and I love you, man. And to the athletes, you all are more than athletes, than students. One day, you'll be a husband or a wife, mom or dad, a co-worker or a teammate. And I challenge you now, which, if you accept the challenge, will raise the level of the play and athletic spirit here at Averett, to do something every day towards your craft. That'll, in turn, help you in your life get better, because the same principles that I learned here are the same principles that I apply to my daily life every day. No matter what time I finish work, I'm working out, which helps me mentally, physically, and spiritually. Every day I try. After I help my wife get the kids to bed, I'm doing something physical, because I honestly feel like I left a lot. Even though I'm up here today, I feel like I left a lot out on athletic fields due to a lot of time that I wasted during my leisure time. So I use this time to hopefully plant a seed to you all and anyone out there that may be feeling like you aren't achieving your best self, man. It's never too late. And I thank you all for your time. God bless you.
Our next Hall of Fame inductee is Chad Ford, who was a standout on the men's basketball team from 1989 to 1993. A native of Martinsville, Virginia, Chad played in 107 games over his career, averaged 12.4 points per game. His 1,323 career points ranks 5th all time. He holds the Averett program records for three-pointers in game, season, and career. 9, 90, and 268 for the numbers. He never saw a shot that he didn't like. Once he walked in the door, he was in range. Had 2 career 30-point games, named a USA South All-Conference second team in 91-92, part of Averett's 1989-90 Conference Championship and NCAA Sweet 16 appearance as a freshman. Named to the USA South Conference's 50th anniversary team for men's basketball in 2014. Chad still resides in Martinsville with his wife of 30 years, Kelly. He has 3 sons, Jackson, Jakin, and Justin, and he's the owner of Ford Construction Company. Please welcome Hall of Famer Chad Ford.
Good morning, y'all. I'm glad I'm coming behind Jeremy, because I'm probably going to cry also. And if you notice that a lot of the younger generation uses iPads and phones, I'm old school. First, thanks a lot, Dr. Steve. I'm sorry, Dr. Franks. I was thinking about Meg, but you took her place, Dan. I want to iterate on Jeremy. After being around 50 plus years, I know all my thanks goes to God and Jesus. Looking back, for He protected me and where I'm going, I know He'll always take care of me. My time here at Averett, that was back in Dr. Frank Campbell and Tommy Foster. I don't know if some of you guys may remember them. They were big integral parts in me coming to Averett. And that's when Ed Hall was here. He stayed here 4 or 5 years. He was a one-of-a-kind coach. Hard-nosed, all business, and he knew how to coach men instead of a team. And he really instilled in that hard work, and I really appreciate the time here. And another person I'd like to recognize is Vesa Hiltunen. He was from Finland. I think he was the AD also, maybe a tennis coach, if I remember. He took us to Helsinki and Stockholm. We got to play overseas. We played 4 games, played 2 pro teams, a college team, and the AAU team. And we won all 3, and guess who beat us? The AAU team. But I like to thank also that I was the 89-90 season, James Boo Braxton, probably one of the greatest point guards to play through Averett, and Tony Say. Tony was a JUCO transfer. I would believe without a doubt, if he played 4 years at Averett, he would have the scoring title. This guy was unbelievable, small forward, 6'4", 220, was just great player. And shout outs to Boo. He was, when I come to Averett, he's the first guys I met. I thought I could play point, but he said no way, so I just figured I'd be a shooting guard. Back home, I want to thank a few coaches that Troy Wells, he kept me in the summer times I played ball with his son. And him and Pat, I don't know how they did. They had 4 kids of their own. They'd feed us. We do Maryland camps. And he instilled God in us more than he did basketball. And then I went on to play at Magna Vista. We won a state championship my senior year. And the late Jim Young died in '96. He was undefeated in the UVA basketball state championships. I went back in '98 and coached his last team he had, and we actually won in '98. So that's his state championship also. So these guys back home really affected me and changed me in terms of who I am, because they give me so much confidence as not only a man but a player. And Coach Wells told me one time, he said, "Chad, you need to learn to shoot the ball." I said, "Okay." So then my senior year, I went to Magna Vista. I learned to shoot the ball. So we had a really good year. One of my best friends at Magna Vista, I have to bring him up, Sean Brown. He played baseball at Clinch Valley. We were best friends. He was a good baseball player, pretty decent basketball player, couldn't play defense. So my senior year, Clinch Valley was coming to town. I needed 13 points to break 1,000. Well, of course, you know who come out and guarded me. So I had 13 points in the first half against Sean. But anyway, I'd like to thank you, Sean, for not playing defense. Y'all got that? Okay, my family. I have a big family. I don't want to leave anyone out. I have family today that wants to be here. Hope they're watching. They're in Richmond. I have a wedding going to. Taylor, congrats if you're watching. Terry and Carol. Terry, my Uncle Terry, he would send me money at Averett. I hope everybody has an uncle like that. Martin and Trila, they used to come to all of my games in high school and up college. But the 2 I can't leave out is Carlton and KK. KK, everyone needs a KK in their family because she's an attorney, if y'all understand what I mean. She would come to all the games in high school, college, and she got my grandparents' sweatshirts that had Averett basketball on the front and had Chad's grandma and Chad's grandpa on the back. And I wasn't embarrassed at all. My grandparents, they passed, and my grandpa was a hard-working man from Kentucky, and he moved to Martinsville, Virginia in the late 50s. And I think that is what helped drill and create our family to the work ethic we have right now. Now I'm going to start with my wife, Kelly. She gave me 3 of the coolest boys you could ever have. You know, Jackson, he's my oldest. He graduated Lynchburg. Jakin, he's my oldest twin. He wants to work in a construction company. And Justin, my youngest, he's up at UVA right now, is in the med field. And that's where my family's at now, Richmond, UVA, so they're taking care of him now. I love you guys so much. But I met Kelly back home, and she's a Cougar, a 98 Cougar at Averett. 98 Cougar at Averett, okay? I just want to clear that up, okay? The love, sorry, baby, sorry. We've been married for 30 years, been together 32. My best friend. We do everything together. We actually fuss and fight together, so we're married. My brothers. I have an older brother, Todd. He's a retired Marine colonel. Wished he could be here today. He instilled in me no fear. This dude would do anything. Of course, he's a Marine. I was like, he would just take off and do anything he wanted to do. He played baseball at Radford and traveled the world and with the military and stuff, and just nothing scared him. And I really appreciate that in him. and helping mold me as an athlete. My younger brother, Paul, he's my ride or die. Anybody know what ride or die means, right? Old school. He's my ride or die. He's always been with me, thick and thin. We still run around today. And I wish everyone could have a brother relationship like my brothers and my younger brother, Paul. We do everything together. And of course, we fought growing up, and I would win the majority of them, but now he's 6'4", 230, so we don't fight anymore. Mom, all the sacrifices you went through with 3 boys, play football, baseball, basketball, summers, AAU, I don't know how you done it. Now Kelly has 3 boys, so we kind of get an idea what you went through. But I love you so much, and I thank you for everything you've done for me in my life. And I'd like to finish with my dad. He is a God-fearing, Bible studying. He instilled that in us as young men. And he's the hardest working man I know. To this day, he still works. He don't have to. He's retired, but he also come on my job and help all the time. 77 years old. He's the hardest working guy I know. And if I could be half the man or half the father he is, I will have a successful life. Thank you.
Our next Hall of Fame inductee is Chris Ganem, who was a standout on the Averett men's soccer team from 1992 to 1995. A native of Jupiter, Florida, Chris was the starting goalkeeper during his 4 years at Averett. He finished his career as program's all-time leader in saves and saves per match. He played in 64 games and had 670 saves with a save percentage of .786. His 23 saves in a single game ranks 4th on Averett's all-time list. He finished his career with 20 wins and 4 shutouts. After playing, he served as an assistant coach with the program from 96 to 98. Today, Chris lives in Terre Haute, Indiana, with his wife, Tiffany, and son, Bodie. He works at Division I Indiana State University as the associate head coach for women's soccer. I present to you the Hall of Famer, Chris Ganem.
Good morning. First and foremost, one of the things I was most excited about for this moment is to be able to do what I wasn't able to do during my time as a student athlete here. Give the glory to God, because it's His alone. To my wife, Tiffany, and son, Bodie, who unfortunately could not be here but are watching at home, my life changed from just a former athlete and coach to husband and dad. And those titles are the most important ones I've ever had. I love you both more than anything. It's an incredible honor and blessing to stand before you as I reflect on the years I spent at Averett. I first want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for this incredible recognition. I am humbled to be entering the Hall of Fame with so many other amazing athletes. Congratulations to each of you on your achievement. Averett will always hold a special place in my heart, not just for the soccer accomplishments, but for the lifelong relationships I've obtained along the way. Preparing a speech like this forces self-reflection on the past. When I look back, I realize it all started for me in soccer with my first coach, Carl. Carl did not necessarily teach us the newest technical moves or fancy tricks. That's simply because Carl was a double amputee from Vietnam. He lost both of his legs by stepping on a landmine during the war. As a coach, today, I wonder how he had the courage to wheel out to the first practice to teach a bunch of boys the game, a game predominantly played with your legs, while he sat with none. I realized that that's the moment that my athletic career and coaching career took a different tilt. He taught us there are no limitations except the ones that we place upon ourselves. I want to acknowledge each and every player I was fortunate enough to play with. I played with a lot of talented guys that helped my journey and to be where I am today. While at Averett, my life was impacted by so many amazing faculty and staff. However, two stand out. I'll begin with Dr. Foster. Not only was he my professor and academic advisor, as I look back, he role modeled what true servant leadership looks like. A great professor, coach, and even better man. He left an impression on me that helped model and shape me to the coach I am today. Dr. Ferguson was the first person that introduced me to sports psychology and the tie to everything that Coach Carl taught us as kids. From that introduction on, my sports performance improved, and my eventual space of interest in this field has shaped my coaching career. I was even fortunate enough to co-author a book that was a soccer-specific mental conditioning guide titled Playing the Game of Soccer One Touch at a Time. It was because of Averett that I found this path. Unfortunately, my playing career wasn't filled with a ton of wins or conference championships. There are so many games that stand out as some big wins, including a berth in the then Visa playoffs. The one that stands out for me is a homecoming game against Center College. It's the only game that my brother and mom and dad got to see me play. Additionally, I was in the homecoming court, and at that time there was no football team, so we were still the main show. I made a save early in the first half, and I just knew it was going to be my day. I think we lost the game 3-2, but it was one of the best games I've ever played, and I know it's because my family was in attendance. I know that my mom and dad, who are no longer with me, are watching down and are proud of my accomplishment and have a smile on their face. Current members of the men's soccer team and all the athletes at Averett, take it from an old man like me. Enjoy each and every moment, each and every training, each and every setback, each and every win, each and every difficulty, each and every game, because they go way too fast. Embrace the grind. Set a mission to be the best that you can be. Never settle for anything less. But also be aware, your value is not tied to your performances. You are not the sum of your positive or negative outcomes. Let them judge you. It's just noise. Learn to quiet that inner critic and your ego. You'll perform better, enjoy the ride more, and be happier. I'll leave you with this story I heard a while ago. At the end of life, Jesus is going to say, see this person over here? This is who you could have become. This is the person you were born to be. This would have been your dreams. This would have been your book. This is where you would have gone. This is what you would have seen. Meet them. And it's my mission in life that when I meet that person, we're not total strangers. I will say, hey, good to see you. I've been chasing you. And he'll turn and reply to me, I've been watching you, and you've maxed out your damn life. Congratulations. Do whatever you can and whatever that means for you, so when you meet your person, they know you maxed out your life. Thanks again. I never imagined would I be here. May God bless each and every one of you.
Sounded like a good halftime speech. Our next Hall of Fame inductee is Jessica Long Carter, who starred on the Averett softball team from 2014 to 2017. A native of Prospect Hill, North Carolina, Jessica was a 3-time NFCA All-American, a 4-time All-Region selection, and an academic All-American in addition. She was a 2-time USA South Player of the Year. Batted .444 with 255 career hits, including 44 doubles, 19 triples, and 19 home runs. She added 119 RBIs and 201 runs scored and 129 stolen bases. She holds program career records for batting average, hits, runs scored, as well as USA South record for hits and runs scored. And she's second all-time in steals. As a senior, she was one of 10 finalists for the NFCA National Player of the Year. She earned all conference honors all 4 seasons and was named to the All-State team 4 times, and was the Virginia Sports Information Director's Rookie of the Year in 2014. Helped to lead the Cougars to 2 NCAA regional appearances, 1 USA South regular season title, and 1 USA South Conference Tournament championship. She received Averett's Barbara Cushbar Female Student Athlete of the Year Award in 2017 and was the USA South's Don Scalf Award recipient and its Woman of the Year in 2017. Today, she works as an occupational therapist for Peak Resources of Alamance in Graham, North Carolina, and resides in Prospect Hill with her husband, Bradley. Please welcome Hall of Famer Jessica Long Carter.
Good morning, everyone. Everybody so far that's been up here has just spoken beautifully, so just be with me. I want to begin by thanking Averett University, Averett Athletics, and university staff for welcoming my family and me here today. My name is Jessica Long Carter, and I had the honor of attending Averett from the fall of 2013 to the spring of 2017, where I played softball all 4 seasons. While this is a moment to share my journey and express my gratitude, if I truly thanked everyone who led me to this point, we'd be here until the football game started. But I'll do my best to reflect on the most meaningful parts of my story. My softball journey began when I first picked up a ball, and like many players, I started in recreational league before advancing to travel softball. In high school, I was fortunate to become part of a great group of incredibly talented athletes. Early on, I was able to learn how to be teachable, a trait that became one of my strengths. From many high school practices, travel ball practices, hitting lessons, and countless games during what seemed to be every single season of the year, softball was life. It was a privilege to play alongside athletes while in high school who would go on to excel at the collegiate level here at Averett, including Hall of Famers like Taylor Dix Paschal and Mary Beth Smith, who began to pave the way early. Coming to Averett, I immediately felt at home. I carried my teachable mindset with me. I listened from the amazing teammates that already had the experience of playing at the collegiate level. The first college game of my career was the most nerve-wracking experience for me. We were in Atlanta, Georgia, playing at the time one of the very top teams in the nation, Emory University. What I know now that I didn't know at the moment was that I was about to begin one of the best experiences of my life. And don't worry, through the nerves, I still managed to get 2 hits that game. From the start and from the next 4 years, I was blessed to have the very best teammates anyone could ask for. Spending so many hours not just perfecting our swings or improving our defensive game, but building memories I will never forget. I also can't forget my hometown support, which a lot of them are here today. Especially our legendary Caswell corner. Thank you, Dr. Franks, for making that happen. We still have our sign. As seasons passed, I transitioned from becoming a follower to a leader. That leadership came naturally, shaped by the incredible leaders I looked up to. I was fortunate to participate in 2 NCAA regionals. Both experiences were special in their own way, but very different. One team filled with experienced veterans that allowed us to make history by becoming the first Averett softball team to be nationally ranked, with one of the highest team batting averages in the country that year. That was the year of many firsts, but going through that, we just came every single day trying to be better than the day before and having fun while we were doing it. The other team was made up of fresh faces who thankfully took every opportunity to step up and not be afraid. That particular year was a year of redemption. As previous teammates of mine, my senior year knew very well that was my self-chosen theme of my senior year, redemption. We had been nationally ranked. We were able to achieve winning conference regular season. Many of us had broken individual records. We beat nationally ranked teams. We achieved NCAA regional berths, but we had yet to snag that one hurdle, conference tournament championship, that we were able to achieve it that very year. We learned, we grew, we overcame adversity together. We cultivated an environment of doing everything it took to win. To this day, I have never been more proud of that team and those girls. Along the way, I formed a deep friendship with another Hall of Fame inductee of the class of 2024, Sam Chandler Vesey. I'll be honest though, when I typed this, I put Sam Vesey Chandler. I'm sorry, Brandon. Anyways, thank you, Sam, for your guidance through sports, through school, and through life. I've never been more grateful than I am today, other than your wedding day, to stand with you alongside the rest of the amazing people in this inducted class. Every year at Averett brought new experiences that helped me grow both on the field and in life. I'm grateful to the professors who supported me academically, even when softball caused me to miss classes or exams. Now I want to take a moment to thank some people who have helped me along this journey. I wanted to start off by thanking our God Almighty. Without him, none of this is possible. To my husband, Brad, sorry guys, thank you for being my constant support. No matter how many hours I spent on the field or out of town, you stood by me through it all. To my parents and my sister, I am who I am because of you. I'm so incredibly lucky to have your support and your love. Thank you for the will and drive me to never take enough. To our former athletic director, Meg Stevens, you taught me more life lessons through sports than I ever could have imagined. To my former softball coaches, to Bryn Taylor and to Ashley Pyron, thank you for believing in me and trusting in my abilities when sometimes I doubted myself. To my other former Averett softball coach and to my travel ball coach, Ronnie Dix, your knowledge and commitment to me are unmatched. Thank you for those countless extra hours you spent teaching me everything there is to know about the game. To my former teammate and Hall of Famer, Taylor Dix Paschal, you've always been my drive to be better day in and day out. You took me under your wing and led me to achieve many heights. To my hitting coach, Greg Stevens, thank you for teaching me how to swing a bat and deepening my love for the game. And of course, he's also an Averett Hall of Famer. To the late Dr. James Caldwell, who was the former chair of the biology department, your guidance started me on my path to becoming an occupational therapist, and I'm forever grateful for you. And lastly, to my Averett softball teammates, every single one of you are my sisters. Thank you for the memories, the loves, and the laughs. You each hold a special place in my heart. I want to close by thanking Averett University as a whole for shaping me, not just as a student athlete, but as a person and a professional. I often find myself reflecting on these experiences that I have as I navigate my life today. Thank you all.
Our next Hall of Fame inductee is Ruth Miller, who was a standout for the women's volleyball program from 1990 to 1993. Originally from Winchester, Virginia, Ruth appeared in 369 sets over 135 matches. She finished her career with 681 kills for 1.9 kills per set and 1,482 digs for 4.0 digs per set. She has 300 total blocks and 114 service aces in her career. She led the team in digs in each of the final 3 seasons and ranks 8th all-time among all scoring errors. She helped lead the Cougars to their first 3 conference championships in program history. She earned USA South All-Conference second team in '92 and first team honors in '93. She was later named to the USA South's 50th anniversary team for women's volleyball in 2013. Currently, Ruth is an exceptional children's teacher at Bonner Middle School in Danville since retiring from Caswell County School System after working for 30 years. She's completing her 19th year coaching high school volleyball and beginning her 16th year of directing Caswell Volleyball Club. She lives in Danville with her daughters, Mackenzie and Caden, and her 9-month-old granddaughter, Colby. Please welcome Hall of Famer Ruth Miller.
Okay, yes, I'm old, so I'm using paper. And Chad, I want to know how you got the color picture, because our graduation is the same year, and Mel and I are black and white. I don't quite understand that. So it is an honor to be here today. When I was trying to decide on where to continue my education over 30 years ago, I knew I wanted to play basketball, and I wanted to be a teacher. So I picked up this big blue book, because of course the internet didn't exist, and I applied to Averett, I applied to Bridgewater, I applied to Lynchburg, literally alphabetically looking for a small liberal arts college. I ended up here at Averett, played basketball for 2 years and softball for 2 years, but volleyball became my new passion. Cush and Miller welcomed me in, and volleyball has been a part of my life ever since. I've coached high school and middle school volleyball, coached and directed club ball, and even dabbled a little with college ball. As Danny said, I retired with 30 years from North Carolina, and Jessica is from one of the schools that I actually taught at, so I'm really old. And I am currently still teaching, though, in Danville. Averett helped me to become who I am today. There are so many memories that I have, and even though it was so long ago, it still feels like yesterday that Danny and I arrived home after winning our 3rd conference title to roses on our pillows and notes from Mindy Mitchell, the president of the Spirit Committee, and then seeing Averett volleyball on the front page of the Danville Register and Bee. Yes, there was obviously not much going on in Danville, like the casino, but I mean, I was going through some papers last night, and we were on the front page. I mean, we were celebrities. There were posters all over campus. And if you were there back then, you can't forget the gym. It was so small, but it was an amazing atmosphere. The place was crowded. Fans had posters. We came into We Are the Champions for years, and the fans were literally right behind us in every huddle, which was probably unfortunate, Chad, when Coach Hall was coaching. I can remember the colorful language. I was looking at newspaper clippings last night and the poster from senior night that I didn't even know I had, and Peg was written all over it. Who the heck's Peg? So Mel and Tiffany were horrible with names and gave everyone a nickname. We had Frogger, we had Ralph, we had Chuck, we had Killer, and then there was me, Peg Leg Rose. Rose? Where the heck does Rose come from? That's how bad she was with names. So Peg stuck for years later, though. Kimmy, who is here today, continued to call me Peg for years. Those relationships continued. Mindy and I both ended up in Caswell County teaching, and she taught Caden in 1st grade. Mel was in my wedding and played in outdoor tournaments with me for years after graduation. And Kimmy and Dan are Mackenzie's godparents. The relationships could just go on and on. I learned so many life skills from my time at Averett, and 2 of the ones that stick out were to make the best of all situations and try to learn from them and to endure to the end. These skills, unfortunately, were not readily seen right after graduation. Sometimes we have to learn the hard way. But as I've grown, I realize that it is because of being part of a team that these skills evolved. We traveled many places when I played, in a van. And I remember laying on the floor in the van. We didn't have these nice buses, but we traveled in vans. And I can remember going to Pennsylvania every year. This match in particular sticks out, and it's a match we did not win. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if we scored in double digits. I mean, it was bad. But I used the memories of this match with my high school team just last week, following an embarrassing loss in the conference semifinals. We went to Pennsylvania to a tournament at Juniata, I believe. And when you walk into the gym, there are Final Four banners all over the place, which is pretty intimidating. Now, Danny might shake his head because my recollection might be wrong, but this is how I remember it. They were out of our league. They had 3 or 4 girls that hit the ball straight down, and I remember laughing at one point and saying, let's just lay on the floor and make ourselves as big as we can and hope it just hits us and goes up. But as we played, I will never forget how we lit up if we dug a ball, even if we shanked it, or if we touched a ball on a block. We celebrated and we were excited for the little things. If we could touch a ball on a block or get our hands on a dig, we were actually playing with them in our minds. And every little touch was making us better for the next team we played. So I was so frustrated the other night when I was coaching. I mean, it was bad. We didn't score double digits. I came up with an analogy to watching Jeopardy and getting a question correct. Now, I'm not the smartest person, but if I get a Jeopardy question correct, I am like, yes, because they're totally out of my league. But that same feeling was felt in that gym in Pennsylvania when I dug a ball that was one of those girls hitting. I hope that I'm able to continue to encourage and inspire my students and my players to push to be their best. As a special education teacher, I always tell my students that they can grow. They can do better than they did yesterday. They may not be at the top of the class or even be able to pass a state test, but they have the ability to show more growth than the students at the top who always pass. I am honored to know that I am part of the volleyball legacy here at Averett, and that when I walk into the gym, I can see those banners and say I started that. I'm here today with Mackenzie, Caden, my granddaughter Colby, and my best friend Angela. Oh, and of course Miller. But I know that my mom and Kush are watching above. Both of these ladies taught me to endure to the end. I don't have any pictures of Colby and Kush that I know of because every time Mackenzie brought Colby to see Pops, Kush was in a meeting. Now, Colby's 9 months old, and Kush passed away this summer, so she was still working, and we have no pictures because she was always in a meeting. She was always giving to Averett and making a difference in the lives of the students that came through Averett. My mom was at the beach the week before she died, insisting, while in a wheelchair and on oxygen, to do what everyone else was doing, even if it meant me attempting to get her on top of a raft in a lazy river. These 2 women always thought of others before themselves and gave of themselves to the very end and will always be my models. I am so honored to be an Averett alumni and now an Averett Hall of Famer. And I know I am who I am today because of my time here at Averett. Averett is family, and I'm so proud to say that this is where I started. Thank you.
Our next inductee today is Chris Stanley, who was a standout on the Averett baseball team from 1995 to 1998. Originally from Meadows of Dan, Virginia, Chris played on baseball's club team in 1995, the first year we started, and was a part of the program's first 3 seasons of varsity play from 96 to 98. Finished his varsity years with a career .372 batting average, with 131 hits, 35 doubles, 7 triples, 13 home runs, 90 RBIs, 19 stolen bases, and 94 games played. I didn't realize you were fast enough to steal 19 bases. I was just used to watching. I was actually the SID and statted most of his games, so I was usually watching him trot around after home runs. His career batting average ranks 3rd in program history, and 13 home runs ranks top 5. His .716 slugging percentage in 1996 ranks as the program's single-season record. He was named to the USA South All-Conference First Team in '96 after leading the league with a .431 batting average, and earned USA South Second Team honors in 1997 after batting .392. He was later named to the USA South Conference 50th Anniversary Baseball Team in 2014. These days, Chris is a substitute teacher and a full-time baseball coach. He lives in Twinsburg, Ohio, and his wife Karen, and who is also an Averett alumna, and former women's soccer player. They have 2 kids, Moira and Garrig, and 1 grandson, Bo. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Hall of Famer Chris Stanley.
I'll be brief, guys. I don't like to speak in front of people if I don't have to, so congratulations, fellow inductees, past and obviously here present. This truly is a great honor, something that was completely unexpected. I don't really have a ton of anecdotes to share because they're not really safe for broadcast, but a lot of great memories here at Averett. I will share one quickly. Me and Chris Ganem actually overlapped in our careers here, and I met my obviously lovely wife Karen here, who was a fellow student athlete, and we had our daughter early because we like to not plan things, and many of these student athletes that we shared as part of our extended family helped raise our daughter. And Chris Ganem and another former player, a teammate of mine, would actually watch our daughter while we went to class. So we would drop her off, knock on the door, they would still be asleep, of course. As Chris said, that's someone who's introduced to Blue's Clues. And we would come back hours later, and Chris would present the child to us, and I would say, Chris, thank you so much for watching her. Her jumper's on backwards, but thank you. So I don't know if this has ever happened before, but for a fellow inductee to be a person who actually changed my daughter's diaper, I don't know if that's ever happened before, so we should have an award for that too. But yeah, this is truly an honor, something that was completely unexpected. Now as a coach, it's something I can speak to with great pride. Not that I ever wasn't proud of my career, but maybe it has a little more heft to my kids that I coach, for them to realize that there's a bigger thing out there other than just what your day-to-day is. And as many of the other inductees have stated before about being the best version of yourself and leaving things better than when you found them, aspire to be the best you can be, give to others, have a service, have that calling, answer that calling. That's something that's, once that branch has been extended to you and you can run with that and you're able to share that with the others, that truly is an experience that, you can't be compensated enough for, because there is no recompense for that. It's just that feeling in here, knowing that you did what was right, for the right reasons all the time, that having that integrity and that, fortitude to be that type of person. That's what matters most. So all of you current student athletes, this is not, I don't know if this is ever what we worked for, Chris. I'm sure I speak for you. We never thought this day would come. We never talked about it as players. This is just fluff. But having those great times, forging those memories, those lifelong relationships like everyone's alluded to, that's something you can't pay enough for. I mean, it's just, that's a great experience. So enjoy your day, work hard every day, leave it all on the field, have no regrets, and accomplish everything great that you can. And that's all you can do. So real quick, I want to thank, obviously, Averett for recognizing us and myself, obviously, coming back here. Just has truly been an experience, reconnecting with other people I haven't spoken with in decades. Haven't seen Chris since '98. It's been nice. It's been really nice. So thank you, Averett, for that opportunity. Obviously, thank you to my family, my mother. I love you so much. Thank you for everything, being basically the queen of the mountain in Medicine, Virginia. She always had what she called the boys club. I have 5 brothers, Bert, Scott, Andy, Sean, and Heath, and we all had our collective friends. So at any given time at our household, there'd be literally 20 or 25 kids, and we'd be playing all day long, making mess. And my mother ruled that place with an iron fist. And if you know my mother, she's 4'11", 90 pounds, and everyone got a spanking with the wooden spoon. So that did happen. So, but thank you to my family who helped me do what I could in terms of life as far as competing. We competed at everything. And in life, you have to compete for your relationships, for your job, to be whatever you're going to be, you have to compete. So please continue that, in anything you do, just make sure you're a competitor. Thank you to my former teammates, kind of like what Ruth was talking about with the great nicknames. I played with some guys named Peanut, the Rev, we had Donkey, let's see here, Bit, there was Daisy. So we had quite a few characters, but those names are forever ingrained in my mind and my heart. I appreciated every moment of it. So thank you to my former teammates, and for the two people here on campus who had the biggest impact in my career, playing and coaching. Coach Foster, obviously, that name rings true for a lot of people. What a great man he was and a great influence to us. Just a wonderful human being. And then Coach Fulton, obviously, having this program where it is now is because of everything he's done, and hopefully one day we'll see him up here. So thank you all for everything. Have a great day.
And our final inductee today is Melanie Stanley, who was a standout on the Averett women's volleyball program from 1988 to 1991. Originally from Nathalie, Virginia, Melanie appeared in 321 sets over 108 matches. And if anybody's not sure where Nathalie is, it's where Punk Self-Service the infamous Punk Self-Service used to be. She finished with 601 career kills, 1.9 per set, totaled 804 digs with 2.5 digs per set, tallied 263 total blocks and 222 service aces. Total blocks leader for the team in 1988 and 89, was the top 10 in total blocks for a career during the side-out era, earned USA South All-Conference second team in 90 and 91, and she helped Averett win its first ever conference title in 1991. Melanie currently lives in Columbia, North Carolina with her fiance and 3 dogs. She works remotely as an implementation specialist for Combined Benefits, a Hub International company. Please welcome Hall of Famer Melanie Stanley.
Well, I am Mel, and I guess they saved the oldest of this induction group for last. And I think they actually inducted the wrong person. I came to Averett under the auspice of Barbara Kushabar, and Barbara called me. Well, I never called her Barbara. I might as well not say that. Kush, or Coach K, as we knew her. She was my 10th grade high school coach. Lo and behold, I did not realize I was going to play for Kush as a college athlete. She called me in my fall semester of my senior year and said, "Hey Mel, I got an opportunity for you to come start something." I had no clue that I was going to be what she called her first recruit to come and start in the dungeon. So if you're as old as I am, you know what the dungeon is. The dungeon was the small gym that, the ball was legal if it hit the roof, if you played volleyball. And you could still play it and play and keep going. The Kush called and said, "Hey, I want you to come." I walked in the gym and I said, "No way, Coach. There's no way I'm coming." She said, "I can steal you away." I had a D1 scholarship at the time. And I said, "There's no way." She said, "Your mom and dad can come to every game." Nathalie, by the way, Danny did work at the store for a summer. Ruth worked at the store for the summer. But Nathalie is only about 45 minutes away. My father came to every single game. He was here, and that's why I said, I'm the wrong person that was inducted. Punk Stanley should have been inducted. He brought, if you were in that time, in that era, he brought a cooler full of drinks, a cooler full of water, and a cooler full of food. And if you had a steak a cup, you were in his good graces for the rest of the time. So during my playing years, it was called the Punk Stanley era. They even got an award. When I graduated, they got the, the service award for being the actual food people who we never paid to go out to eat because Punk always had that. But I do appreciate this honor. Thank you all. I thank Cush for bringing me on board. I was like Ruth, I played 2 years of basketball. I started out as a basketball player. 2 years of basketball, 2 years of softball, 4 years of volleyball, and Peg Leg Rose and I came in it, and we went out together, still played after, I think our children were born almost a year apart, and grandchildren are a year apart now, so I tell you, Averett is a family, and it is an extended family. So no matter if I have never met you, you're not a stranger to me. Hold on to that, because those people are the ones that are going to count in the long run. I thank God every day for being a part of the Averett family. And I really do appreciate, even though I did date Danny as a freshman in college. And then I met the guy that I'm my fiance I met here at Averett. His sister was one of my good friends. So it all comes back around. Somewhere along the way, you come back to your roots at Averett. And needless to say, I handed him off to Ruth and said bye. But I really want to thank you all, and thank you, committee, for thinking of me. I know Cush and my parents are in heaven looking down, smiling today, and thinking how wonderful of a place this is. And Cush worked her magic. Coming from a poor family, I couldn't afford Averett. And so when you're receiving those honors, and I heard today several of you received the Barbara Cushabar Awards and the honors and the accolades, by all means, be thankful for her being here. And she is still here, and she will always be here. Because once a Cougar, always a Cougar. Take your Cougar pride and be happy. Thank you so much, and thank you for this opportunity.
Well, as some of the other inductees talked about their stories that they didn't want to share, I was afraid what might come out about me. So, let's hear it for our 2024 members of the Averett Athletics Hall of Fame. Congratulations to everybody. It's well-deserved. On behalf of Averett student athletes, coaches, administrators, alumni, Cougar fans throughout the world, thanks for joining us to celebrate Averett Athletics excellence and accomplishments of our inductees. If you haven't had a chance, there's some great stories on each one of them, a full feature on the website. Go to averettcougars.com. You can look at the old news archives, and there's a full story and description about each of them. So I hope you'll take a chance to read that. Couple of cleanup things. Following the ceremony, we asked that each of our Hall of Fame inductees meet on the stage for a group photo. And of course, we hope to see each of you at the North Campus this afternoon for our homecoming tailgate. We have a lot of fun things planned. We also at noon have the Barb Cushabar classroom dedication. So if you're not familiar, Barb Cushabar was a longtime coach, faculty member, passed away, and we're dedicating one of the classrooms to her memory. So hopefully if you want, we'll be doing a ceremony in the Grant Center in the gym, and then we'll walk down to a classroom to dedicate the classroom. So feel free to join us for that, and then tailgating with a 2 p.m. Cougar Walk leading up to the 4 p.m. football game. And for those sticking around tomorrow, don't forget to come cheer on the women's soccer team at 3 p.m. For those watching this at home, or for those who can't make it to the games in person, we hope you will cheer on the Cougars by watching the live streams of all of our home games on the Averett Sports Network. Now please welcome Joe Franks as he's going to lead us in our singing of the alma mater. Thank you all.
All right, now Danny tells me that there you go. You've already looked at the back, so that's perfect. Okay.
Everybody stand.
Let's stand and sing the alma mater. Let's do it. Hail to thee, our alma mater. Proudly now we sing. Faithful to thy name forever, let our praises ring. Oh, dear Averett, we are thankful as we sing to thee. For honor, friendship, and real wisdom, thou dost hold the key. Averett University, memories dear will hold. We'll remember now and ever our dear blue and gold. There you go, baby.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and if the Hall of Fame inductees will come to the stage, please. Thank you.